In this video, we'll go over your options for protecting your workbook, including how you can password protect your workbook in read-only mode so that people are forced to open your workbook in read-only mode and any changes they make are not saved to your workbook. So let me start out by showing it to you in action. I'm opening up a workbook. It's requiring me to put in a password in order to open it up, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and type in the password. And then now I have to enter a password if I don't want to open it as read only. If I want to open it as read only, all I have to do is click this button. But I'm going to go ahead and enter in that password, click OK. And now I have it open. Any changes I make, once I save this workbook, will overwrite what's in this existing workbook. Okay. The way you set that up is through a little known and little used feature that's available not only in Microsoft Excel, but in pretty much any other Microsoft Office document. So you can do the same thing with your Word documents, with your PowerPoint presentations, and so forth. The way you do it is you go to File, Save As. So I tend to use the shortcut F12. And then you'll see this button here, over here towards the bottom left-hand corner where it says Tools. If you click the drop down under Tools, select General Options. Then this box pops up where you have the option to set a password to open your workbook, to set a password to modify your workbook, or you can do one or the other, or you can do both. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now, Excel does offer the ability for you to password protect your workbook, but the difference is the read-only option is an option. So basically, the person has to enter the password to open the workbook, but it just simply suggests that they open it as read-only. If they decide they don't want to do that, they can go ahead and open your workbook and be able to make and save any changes. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to go to this file, read only suggested. It's asking me for a password to open. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the password. And now what it's saying is, do I want to open it as read only, or would I rather open it where I'm able to edit and save changes? And so I'm going to say no, I do not want to open it as read only. And then when I make some changes, right, and to go ahead and save, close my workbook. It's asking me, do I want to save? I'm going to go ahead and click save, and it overwrites the existing workbook. Now let's check what happens. I'm going to reopen this Protect on Open workbook in read-only mode, and let's see what happens when I try to overwrite this workbook. Control W will close your existing file. Control W again will close your existing file. This works in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so forth. So now I'm going to go ahead, open this workbook, enter my password to open it. Let's assume I do not know the password to have write access to the workbook. So I'm going to go ahead and click read only. Notice up here it says read only. I can type in whatever I want. It does let me edit the workbook, okay? But this is what happens when I go to save it. Control W to close it. It says, do I want to save my changes? I'm going to say yes, I want to save them. Now notice what happens. It's not going to allow me to overwrite this workbook. So it says if I want to keep my changes, I have to save it to a new name. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And it allows me to save it to a new name, which is called copy of the existing name, or I can name it whatever I like. But the bottom line is, it's not going to let people overwrite whatever it is that you've put in your workbook. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And now I closed it and I saved it with my changes, but the original workbook is left untouched. Now you might be wondering, I've showed you how to create the passwords using the Save As feature. You might be wondering, how do you protect a workbook in Excel itself? And the way you do that is you click the File tab on your ribbon, you go to Info, and this is where you can click and say Encrypt with Password. That protects it with a password when someone tries to open it. And then you can also select always open read only. And what that does is it gives the read only suggestion. Doesn't prevent someone from overwriting your workbook once they have it open, but it does suggest that they open it as read only. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know in the comments down below. And definitely, if you have any questions, please write those questions in the comments section as well. Thank you for watching.